like the one cool thing that I do.
And all of you escaped, got a good distance away from it before you inspected your goods and began attuning to and checking out some very sketchy slash powerful slash mysterious objects that you now have in your possession as the archives sort of sink into the ground behind you.
If my notes are
Yeah.
accurate, Xandal's got a ring, Mariana's got a fancy book, Siduri's got a necklace, and Quinn's got a wand.
Mhm.
And then there's a
Yes.
scroll of something or other that I didn't write down.
Correct.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think we know what the scroll does yet because apparently I'm the brains of the party and that's terrifying.
Also, I have a deck of cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Right. And Siduri did pull a deck of cards out of the sort of
Yeah.
alchemy slash research room and pocketed it without people knowing, except for, I
Oh,
believe, Quintus now,
yeah. I
who
saw a
used
small magical
the
object in the bag, but I didn't know what it
Mhm.
was. Yeah.
Yep.
precisely.
Uh,
So everyone's
Leander,
got their things.
yeah, Leander's also
Oh,
got
yes.
the crossbow bolts with some green liquid in the bolt heads, and
Yep.
some book about nasty eldritch underneath stuff.
And I have a
And there was,
book
yes.
about. I have this written down. I wrote it on my character sheet in Roll20. It's a book about Zahiri the Immortal.
Ah, yes. And now we return to the desert where all of you are standing. The sun is setting, and yeah, what are y'all doing? Other
Have we?
than digging a sleeping hole, Xandal.
Mhm.
I believe we were just planning on taking a short rest for now, and attuning or reading as time allows.
All right. Who wants to go first? I'll take volunteers.
Uh, I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I need to attune to the cards. But while Siduri is sitting reading this book on Zahiri the Immortal, she will be playing with the cards in one hand, like flipping and shuffling and just generally messing with the cards, just unconsciously. That's not the right word.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, I guess she's not really paying attention. It's just something she's doing while she reads.
Absent-mindedly. I'm good
That's
with
perfect. There
words.
we go.
There we go. Yeah. These cards sort of feel very like warm and pleasant in your hand. Not like they're physically warm, but it just feels comforting to hold. Um, and the book on Zahiri, the Immortal, um, as you flip through it, the first part of the book details like the quick rise of an Utmail officer in one of the most desperate times of the Emergence War, which was the war between the Faerun and the Utmail, and by extension, the humans. The Allied forces were pushed back to the city of Uriah. She often ignored orders of her high command and attacked at like different strategic locations and winning a lot of battles. But it was very like notorious that she like never retreated, and most of her battles were like all of her battles were won but at incredible cost of life. um and it then details an account of her seizing an entire Faerun fort on the coast with only 12 of her soldiers remaining from the siege. um and
Sorry, a
yeah,
fort of
the Faerun fort on the coast. And she was known as the demon. Her pyromancy was both admired by her soldiers and very feared by everyone, friendly or not. When the ancient horrors broke through, she was promoted to commander and then general. Her victories were numerous, but as her power grew, the death toll in the later battles became more extreme. This biographer notes that it was a mix of collateral damage and just like her strategy to attack with little regard for her or her army's safety. Um, the writer sort of hypothesized that the collateral damage was not entirely because of her explosive attacks, but from the source of her power. She like drained the mana around those to cast her powerful spells. And right before joining the other four heroes in the Rites, she led an army against a Void Titan and defeated it, being the only survivor and the slayer of the monster. After this, she gained the title, which she is known by now, the Immortal, a proper bit of rebranding. The back end half of a book is like analysis of spells and stuff. The author seems to um, just like put forth a lot of like iterations, commenting about their stability or their possibility to cast. And like in the middle of this back portion, he just like is going on about how there had to have been some crazy powerful artifact to do it. But then later he realizes that it to do what she did, there had to be some sort of necromancy infused into this um, evocation magic to to siphon the mana from just everything around her to cast it without ripping her soul from her body. And there is a rough draft of like a final spell on the last few pages, and um, obviously a warning about how incredibly dangerous uh, it is, and it is a just mishmash of unstable techniques all working together to like not make the other backfire. But it happens to be more powerful than any other sorcery the author had ever seen or studied. So yeah. That is the account from this author of Zahiri. There are obviously a little bit more details about this, but since you're just sort of skimming through, that's what you see. I'll go ahead and put it in you guys' journal so you guys have it.
Hey, June.
Yes.
That's dope as hell, by the way.
Thank you. Was there a question or was that just a compliment?
No, I just wanted to let you know that, like, I'm digging it.
Thank you. Shucks. Shucks. Hey, honey, did you hear that? They're digging it. They're digging it. They're digging it. Cool. Thanks. Since we're on Siduri, do you want to attempt to attune to that amulet, or are you just taking the short rest to read?
No, I will attune to the amulet and the cards if necessary / possible.
Okay. So,
I don't know what they are. They're probably cursed.
The amulet itself is incredibly cold. Like, you hold it in your hand, and you know how when you pass it from one hand to another, or just hold on to metal, it sort of heats up a little bit and becomes warm. This does not do that. It stays about the same temperature across the board, and that is freakishly cold. Um, let's go ahead and just show this to you guys.
Ah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and drop that into the loot tab for y'all. Oops, I think I missed. There we go. So yeah, it's a simple teardrop-shaped fire opal and set in a silver frame with runes etched into the frame. The amulet contains 2 charges that replenish at dawn. When you cast a spell, you may expend the charge to cast it at the highest level you are able to cast the spell, expending only the minimum slot used to cast it. For every level higher than the spell slot used, deal 1d8 necrotic damage to anything around you within 5 feet. If there are no targets, you take that damage instead. Using 2 charges, you can cast at a level higher than you're normally able to cast. When you do expend all the charges, there is a 10% chance that it shatters. Just roll a d100, and anything below 10 is destruction. Happy birthday.
It is
Yeah.
a mana sucker.
I'm super happy about that as a sorcerer.
Yeah.
It is an incredibly aggressive item. um, and while Siduri digests all that, anybody want to go next?
What does this wand do?
That is actually a wand of magic missiles.
Neat. That'll be good for the guy with a very low to hit modifier.
Magic shotgun. All at once.
Or plow.
Want to save the book for last. So what does the ring do?
The ring is a ring of the ram.
Yeah.
Can you can you can like drag these onto the like journal, right?
Yes, from the compendium.
Yes. How would you do that?
If you go to the compendium tab, well, I don't know about dragging it onto the journal as a DM, but like we can just drag them straight onto our sheet.
True.
I believe also if you open a note, make a new note, and drag onto the note, it just makes a note.
Oh,
Makes a new note.
Oh, neat.
Oh.
that makes sense.
I don't know if the opening a note is necessary. I just know that's how I've found success.
You have found the correct sequence.
Yeah. Bad UI.
There we go. Got it. Sweet.
As dumb as it is, I definitely try to break part of the tower as it's sinking. Like as soon as I'm attuned to this thing, just wheel around, ghostly ramp, slam into the base of the tower.
Some of it crumbles a lot easier than using your fists. Oop. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Cool. I can just delete the ring of the ram. No. Sweet.
I don't
Sit.
know if I could see the loot tab.
Oh,
It's down under
Um,
tools above NPCs.
yes.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah,
All
neither
I
do
see
I.
is
Nor do
spiritual
I.
weapon.
If Siduri's the only one who can see
Yeah.
the thing that's in there, then we won't see the tab until we have items in there we can read.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Okay.
that makes sense.
Then let me go ahead and players and all players. There you
Yeah,
go.
there it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very interesting choice of UI.
Yeah. Listen, I've made my nest here. I can't leave, even though it is crumbling.
It's a good nest. It's been a good nest.
Leander will read the book that he acquired to his crossbow and anyone else that cares to listen.
Fantastic. So just imagine me reading this in Leander's voice, because I'm not going to curse myself with that, and neither am I going to try.
Wise
So
choice.
the book details sort of way too in depth void creatures and their biology. The author shows the lesser creatures first. The thing that most of these have in common is that they are larvae, as they call them, and exhibit some sort of control over a host. A few are parasites, but there happens to be one that is of note that is a spirit or a projection of some kind. There are drawings of different stages of transformation and the different species. They then sort them by what elder creature they come from. There is a myriad of other creatures and things sorted similarly, like rising up the ranks from just like little worm things and stalks of like eyeballs and like bony spider sort of dealios to giant like city sized monsters. And there are 4 elder creatures named as follows: Verimek, Aturamal, Zandirukal, Ermalajek. Verimek has creatures sorted under it that are giant. They have the basically biggest concentration of big, scary, like city raising sort of Goliath creatures. They all have like featureless, bony face plates and sharp claws. Some of the smaller ones have like blade or spike like bony growths coming out of arms and tails and stuff. They're usually colored in like a very they're like musculature that is visible underneath these bone exoskeletons are like a sort of swirling bluish purple. Um, yeah. Aturamal's creatures are like massive masses of like hardened nerves almost. Like if you've seen like blood vessels or nerves sort of like separated from something, that's kind of what they look like. Um, a
Ick.
lot of them do have like central like eyeballs, although they some don't have pupils, and some are very just like weird and grotesque looking.
Mhm.
They it is noted that exposure to these creatures can cause like terrible madness and eventually control. um Umalajek has creatures that are mostly like wormy parasites, more akin to like lamprey eels and things, but spookier. Um, there are some scary looking monsters with like gaping mouths and several sets of teeth, as well as like underneath those, the terrifyingly horrific transformations that they can induce in humanoids. Things like a person with its back arched back and a giant maw in the center of their chest opening up with like four tongues snaking out. These authors and illustrators are fucking screwed up for including most of these, because they are not safe for work, folks. Um and Zendurikal has creatures similar to Aturamal's creatures of like the nerves and stuff, like clusters of them, but they seem to be a little bit more humanoid looking. They have like human bodies, like in shape, and like the heads are just these crowns of like clumped together nerves that almost look like coral. Um, some of them have like bony face plates that are similar to Verumek, but there is very little information on these last ones. As it is noted that they haven't seen many of these creatures out on the battlefield, nor have they taken any back for research. Um, yeah, there's not a lot of information on those. Um, the last section uh, details a way that they can be summoned forcibly. There are notes that they can commune through dreams if they are near or if one of their thralls is in proximity. The footnotes here about a hypothesis that all these beings are extensions of the elder being is noted. Um, they can be summoned by a beacon, a powerful arcane ritual that constructs one side of a portal with no destination, therefore leaving it open to liminal space between planes where they reside. The ritual uses a lot of energy to keep this open, since there's no portal on the other side to complete a stable tunnel, as it were. There's a step-by-step process on the materials and incantation to do this. Magic being emitted from this process serves as a beacon to attract potentially another being.
The reading of this goes relatively smoothly, but as Leander reaches that last part, the reading becomes more and more broken up and interrupted with what others would hear as one side of an argument Leander is apparently having with the crossbow.
What does that sound like?
What do you mean? We should absolutely try this. I know it says it takes lots of energy, but what do you mean, no? I mean, what would we spend all that time underground for? We're not. I understand. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me. Don't yell at me in front of everyone. Come on. It sounds a lot like that for 15, 20 minutes.
How do the rest of you feel upon reading this fantastic bedtime story?
Staring in fascination at this one-sided argument, having completely forgotten about now most of what was being read in the book.
About the point that Leander was reading out loud and got to the descriptions of the elder creatures, Sturry got up and walked away and sat down and started reading again somewhere else, out of earshot.
That seems fair. Oh my god, it's thundering out here.
Yeah, we've got a storm here too. It's wild.
I'll tap Leander's shoulder.
Oh, God. Well, yeah. Oh, Zeno. Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Yes, you were speaking with your crossbow.
Yeah, Leonella. Yeah.
Leonella.
Yeah. So we have a disagreement about this last section of the book here.
I wanted you to be aware you were doing it out loud, verbally.
Well, yeah, I was speaking with Leonella. Like I can't speak telepathically like she can. So
Oh. That makes sense then.
yeah, the only option I got.
What does she say?
Well, she seems to think that this whole ritual outlined in the back of this book here is a real bad idea and shouldn't even mess around with it. But I don't know. Spent a lot of time underground looking for a lot of weird stuff. And I gotta say, the the impending and irreparable madness just doesn't sound like that big a disincentive to me.
Why would the irreparable madness be not a good deterrent?
Yeah, well, you got a noggin like I do. You don't got to worry about falling prey to that sort of thing.
I don't know about that. Just
Well,
in general. I mean, you're out here and you don't think that you did no things wrong? Or whatever. I mean, you're already kind of fallen to it.
so,
What is the longest amount of time you spent without seeing the sun?
I've been underground for months at a time.
That explains it. This is not sand madness.
Sewer madness.
Do you think there is a difference between darkness madness and sewer madness?
Yes.
The fumes, yes. He points at Leander. Ha! You have breathed too many fumes.
Or maybe I've just seen things that y'all haven't seen and have a better understanding of the way this world works.
What is the biggest thing you've killed below the ground?
Well, I've killed some pretty big things, but I suggest respectfully that your very question indicates that you have a misinformed way of looking at the world, because the size of a thing is frequently not an indication of its deadliness.
Yeah. I flex.
That makes sense. What is the most dangerous?
Yeah, see? Look at my Rihanna. You
Yes, I'm aware of. Xandal just trails off and looks at
did you
Mariana.
see her wrestle that thing? Come on now.
You have not wrestled her.
Is that something we got to do? Is that how this works? Leander slaps his biceps. All right.
Oh, I don't.
She bites.
Yeah, Leander, that is not advisable.
What? I don't know. I mean, Zandal's the one who suggested it.
Mhm. It is a fun time, but it is not a pleasant time. She bites and kicks.
Yeah.
All right, well, Mariana, when you least expect it, expect it.
I would not advise that.
I mean, I already live out in the wastes. Like, also that book you were reading, that's really freaky. I don't know if you want to be opening portals to the nothings.
I don't know. I think I turned Leonella around on it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
What
We did not hear
do
her be turned
you
around on.
mean?
Mostly that you were reading about trolls and great outer beings that can contact people on other planes, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Someone with
If she is telling you, maybe don't do that. Maybe she has a good reason for that.
yeah, well, she
Huh?
was, but nah, I think I convinced her. She started to come around.
Why?
Well, because I'm a very convincing individual.
Okay, maybe I asked the wrong kind of why. Why do you want to do this?
Well,
Like, it sounds like these things want to bring unholy terror and destruction upon the mortal planes and the mortals who live on it. I don't know how you'd want to, like, knock on the door and say, come in.
well, you see, my sister was not always a crossbow. My sister at one point was, in fact, a human being, just like I am.
Oh,
And
thank God.
she and I went down into the swords together very frequently, right? And on one particular occasion, we bumped into some really nasty stuff, and all I was able to salvage of my sister is this black goo. And he points to the crossbow string.
This is a tragedy.
Yeah, you're telling me. And so, and some of those things that we encountered there, they sound an awful lot like some of these little larvae that were described in the as the itty bitty baby things in this book.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows, right? If I could contact some of these things or get back in there, maybe I could get my actual human sister back, and I can stop talking to this crossbow and have somebody that talks back to me outside of my head.
Do you think things that like to take would be just cool with the giving back?
I do not, but are you saying I should just let my sister go?
I'm saying there are maybe lots of other steps that come before opening the place to the nothings. Before you, yeah. I think this may be plain Z, you know.
Leander slams the book shut and walks away.
Okay. I mean, I feel like, you know, that one would, like, that seemed like it was going to, like, work as far as the ritual working would go, but I don't know about the important part, you know, of communication.
What does your book say?
Oh. She, like, cracks it back open. June?
All right.
Hey, bud, I gotta take some notes. Just a moment. I'll hold your hand in a minute.
Oh, you can hold his hand. Don't worry. I'll provide the whole thing for you,
Oh,
so
okay.
you can just copy paste or just have it. So the Book of Rites, it has a large gem with something carved in it on the front cover. It looks incredibly worn, but when you crack it open, the pages are crisp, like new book crisp, and it is written in beautiful golden, blue, and red colored ink. Um, the Book of Rites is an illuminated manuscript detailing the rites. Their depiction of the rites, with two groups of warriors with an orb between them, uh, a picture of the orb in a pedestal, and a beam of light shooting into the sky. Five people standing around the orb with hands on it, a diagram of the arcane flow through the body anchored at the soul in the temple of the head. Depictions of the gods on the next pages. The first, or rather, um, on the first two pages, when you open it up, is a um, portrait of Onir and Silas touching fingers at the spine of the book, as well as a chart of space, nebula, stars, and planets. Um, the next two pages are Eladir, the patron god of the Faerun, sort of like polyhedron shape with a central little eye looking down at arcane script and ley lines on a map of the world. Um, Written on the page next to it is about the creation of the universe. All the text, by the way, is in Celestial, which you can recognize because of your uh, stenography, I suppose. And however, um, it you can not only understand it, but it hurts your head to look at. Um,
So
and
sorry, I want to make
so
sure you said I can understand it, but it's also brain hurty.
yes,
Okay,
like
cool.
the the text almost looks like it is rising up out of the page, which your eyes just can't really parse that well. And it sort of transitions between this state of the letters appearing to rise out of the page towards you and then, on the book as normal in ink. Um,
Oh, I've heard of this one. This dyslexia.
so yeah, then the next two pages opened up are Dren, the god of death, the reaper of souls, kneeling and offering motes of blue light to Fountain, which is like a giant beam of light going up and down the page, coming from a mountain. Um, and on the opposite side is Virus, the keeper of souls, goddess of death, watching over it with her fingers like interlaced in it. Um, the last page is Atar, the goddess of the Utmail, rising from the earth from a volcano with a twisted tree on it, holding her arms out to the humanoid races on the ground of this mural. The rest is just like writing and spells and details of the rites in very like flowery and almost incomprehensible language, like almost like reading old English, but it is also in a language you don't understand that well, if at all. Um, and yeah, um, that is the Book of Rites. Um, are you going to attempt to attune to it? Is the
Oh,
question.
absolutely.
All right.
Not without even a
So-
question.
So, let me just take a look at your character sheet.
My stats are fine-ish.
Okay. All right. And let's get a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Yep. Climbing out of a tent. Okay. I feel like now would be an appropriate time for me to use human determination. And I hope it does fail. Still, like I'd be fine if it still fails, but I feel like this would be the narrative time to do so. If
Then
that is all
let's
right.
see it. That
Yeah.
that's okay with me.
Okay. Let's take bless off real quick. Yes. Kick ass. All right.
Rolled a 2 and a 3. How did you manage that one, Max?
Yeah.
So, after sitting there for a good long while, sort of flipping through the pages and very attentively concentrating on it, you stop seeing the ink on the pages and all of the text begins to rise. The pictures and details of the book begin to move and swirl, and the pages begin flipping on their own. Um, they begin flipping faster and faster, and when it hits and the gem at the front of it is bright. It's glowing blue. Um, when the pages reach the back of the book, it shuts, the light dims, and nothing happens.
Cool. Hey guys, these books are really neat, by the way. It's kind of an illuminator's masterwork.
What does that mean?
It means that here, and she'll like flip through some of the pages. Like that a lot of fucking money went into building this book properly and preserving it. Like look at the paper, it's still like fresh. It's still
Mhm.
like new. It doesn't have any grime on it or nothings. Like I'm touching it with my bare fucking dirty hands and look. And all these inks, they're really expensive.
Hmm. What is it about?
Oh, it's about the world and how it came to be. And there's the marks of like the ley lines, powers, focuses of magic and force in the world. Uh, life and death and spirits and all that.
Mhm.
Also the heroes that were down in the archive.
Hmm. I have been considering, and I do not know where we will go next.
Yeah, this was kind of the thing that I
Mhm.
had to do. Well, I mean, I guess I could bring this back to the city.
Yes, that would be a start.
Yeah.
Just shrug and sit down, glance at like two
I'll
of our
be right
party
back.
that's off in the distance. How are you handling waste life, Quintus?
Well, it certainly lacks a lot of the uh, eloquencies of life in the city. I'll survive.
Hmm.
Or I won't.
True.
Whichever way it goes is the way it goes.
Been meaning to check in. You're responding very stoically, which is a good response.
Thank you.
But make sure to bend and not break.
I have returned.
Yes, well, it change is a young man's game, and it's been a lot of change lately.
Does that mean you are not handling it well?
It means I'm handling it as well as I can.
Hmm.
Hey, Suduri,
Mm,
how's your book?
oh, it's not real exciting. It's a sort of a biography about a Moot Mail commander during the war and then during the battle with the Void.
Oh,
There's some
cool.
spell stuff back here, but I don't really understand any of it much.
Does it talk about opening a open door into the nothing space?
What? No, no, I don't think so.
That's good. That's what Leander found.
Maybe one of you can make better sense of this. I don't really understand it. I know the author warns against actually casting it, which sort of makes me wonder why they wrote it down in the first place.
Record keeping.
Well, I mean, you could have said there was a spell instead of putting that spell down, I guess. You never know, I guess. Maybe there'll be a reason to use it. I hope not, because it sounds real horrible.
Maybe it
What
was
to
in
do?
an effort to keep anyone from accidentally doing it, such as like, hey, these things don't ever do all of these in exactly this order else.
Sort of
In
feel
case you
like
do
for
it on
safety
accident.
reasons, you should at least leave one step out so that like somebody going through the steps will stop at like 4 or 5 and be like, "Wait, I'm doing this thing that this guy says is bad."
How do you know they haven't?
Well, I mean, I don't,
But
but
what if they, are going through and are like, okay, well, I'm definitely not doing what this book says not to, because I'm also doing this other thing it doesn't mention. Lo and behold, that other thing is the thing that was omitted for safety reasons, and bada bing,
I
bad
feel
thing
like
happened.
that is way less likely than somebody reading this
But
book and
possible.
doing what it says. Like, I mean, well, sure, anything is technically possible in a world with magic in it, but I mean, if I were a betting woman, and I am, I would certainly bet on somebody doing what's in this book before I put a bet on doing what's in this book plus one thing that's not in this book. Throwing that out there. Just I don't know. It's written down here, and I don't know what it does. Maybe it just makes real good cookies. I don't know, but it just there's something about losing your soul, and I don't want any part of it. I'll just drop the book on the ground.
Do you want to trade with Mariana? Hers is a illuminator's masterpiece. It
What
means
now?
it's expensive and has good paper.
What about that little tiny magic thing you found? It was in your bag.
I know what now?
Well, I noticed that you had a small little magic item in your pack. I figured you picked it up.
Well,
It was
I
about the
can't
size
tell
of a
if
deck of
anything's
cards.
magic, so you'll have to. Siduri will start turning her bag, taking an item out each time. I don't know how to tell if things are magic, so you let me know when I get there.
I'll turn on detect magic again. I think I can just cast it, and whenever the deck pulls out, I guess I'll point that out.
This little thing? I've been fussing around with it for the last however long I've been reading. It hasn't done a thing.
Well, it might be something that requires an intentionality to it.
Sure.
All I mean to say is that there's definitely magic there, and hopefully it doesn't cause a problem.
And just so I'm clear, Chun, there was no attunement to it. It didn't attune or anything.
You are muted, June.
Yes. No, there's no attunement.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh, well. I
Maybe
can try to make it do something, but
maybe you need to think about it harder. I stared at this ring for some time, and then it became magical.
Perhaps it's something that requires, forward, and it's a deck of cards, so maybe someone needs to draw one intentionally. Here, pass it my way.
I can draw a card just fine.
Well,
You have to
yes,
say a
but
magic word like draw, and then you draw a card. Or
my
maybe
duty out
I
here
got
is
an idea.
to try
Why
to
don't
keep people safe, and I feel like for us to figure this out, I don't mind being the guinea pig. For all we know, it might do something wondrous and good.
and you want to be the sacrifice, just in case.
Just in case.
This is a decent glory. I think you should pursue this.
Siduri sits down on the ground and starts shuffling the cards. All right. 5 card. Who's in?
Me, Leander playing scary cards.
How do
Well,
you
I
play?
love cards.
Zendel, you ain't never played poker before?
Mm-mm. I have heard of poker, but it did not seem interesting.
But you
Oh.
barely know her,
Oh,
right?
Zendel.
Yes.
It's more than just a game, Zandal. It's
Wait, what are we playing?
tell you what, why don't we play some Showtail Hold'em? Everybody sit down. I'll deal y'all, and Siduri will explain how to play Texas Showtail Hold'em. I'll deal everybody 2 cards. Blah blah blah. So who's in?
I'm definitely in.
Yes. Are we betting things?
You can't
Why
take
don't-
people's clothes.
Why don't we just do a couple rounds to get a hang of it, and then we can start worrying about gambling.
Sounds good.
I want the sweatband.
Oh, I see.
Now
Well.
tis risky, see. It is more fun. If you win, you can have a portion of my robe.
We should not be playing strip poker in the desert, guys.
It is not strip poker.
It's going to be.
That is pretty much what you are describing.
I have clothing beneath it.
You do now, but We all know how. Well, most of us seem to know how this game works, and you're the one that doesn't. So I'm gonna just have to ask you to take our word for this one.
Okay. But then maybe I will master it and take this way.
Start dealing cards.
All right.
Upon
So-
looking at his cards, Leander takes a peek, looks around, takes another peek, looks around, takes another peek, and then proudly declares to Xandal, yeah, do you have any jacks?
No.
This is a deck of many things, isn't it? That's what I thought.
Why would
That was my assumption here.
Well, we don't know. What
we
it's a
don't
deck of.
know? It could also be a deck of illusions or a homebrew magic item.
Yeah.
All we know is we are currently drawing cards, and
Mhm.
each of us has 2, and that's a problem within itself.
Yeah. Hey June, how we doing?
I mean,
All right. How many of you are taking part in this game?
Sounds like all of us.
thing.
All
Yeah,
of us, June.
We're all playing poker.
All right, buddy.
There's
Come here.
10 cards on the field.
All right.
Oh God.
Sorry. Let me just make a draw here real quick.
Let me start draw. I think wizard next time. Yeah, I'll play the smart one next time, everyone. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Everyone roll me either
Oh, Jesus.
if you don't have proficiency in it, either int or charisma.
Oh,
And if we do
Sorry,
have
sorry, what are we
proficiency,
rolling?
What? Yeah, what are we rolling?
Sorry. Int or charisma, or rather, I guess just unless you have proficiency in the cards, would
Which
it
I do.
be? What would it be?
I also have proficiency in a playing card set.
Me too.
You
I know
can-
this is crazy, so do I.
this checks out.
What happened?
Everybody
Four of
has
us-
4 out of 5
proficiency.
of us have playing card
Proficiency with
set
the playing card
proficiency.
set.
I have
Yeah.
proficiency
And
with
Xandal's
dice.
the one who doesn't.
Yeah, I can do dice.
I also have the gambler background trait, but it doesn't really help me here. Ironically enough.
Xandal, you can just roll either straight int or straight
Mhm.
charisma.
They're
Whichever
the
one
same.
is better. Okay.
So the rest of us are rolling proficiency with either int or charisma.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Enter charisma, not wisdom. Okay.
Or I mean, it's, wisdom works too. Wisdom works too.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Leander will use his determination to re-roll that.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, Quintus.
Three
There's no
Dragon
guidance
Ante
on
is
that,
not
but-
not playing cards, by the way. Three Dragon Ante is its own game.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's still a card game, but it's still, yeah.
It is an actual game that is very fun to play.
Oh yeah, I own. I
Hmm,
owned
I've
it.
never played it. All right.
It's not just 3-card Monty.
No, they
Yeah.
came up with their own like rule set for it.
Oh,
Really.
awesome.
And it comes with its token pieces are like the D&D coins,
Oh, nice.
which just goes to indicate how impractical all of them are. They're terrible.
All right. This is like an incredibly intense game of Texas Hold'em. Other than Xandal and Leander. Leander starts off. Actually, Leander starts off with confidence, and as the cards are dealt on the table or on the ground, I suppose, his confidence only gets higher. Xandal, you don't really know what you're doing.
I now have 2
And
jacks.
and and with that, like, you see another card being dealt, another round go through, and you just get impatient and fold.
Hmm. I did not
Um,
get 3 jacks. Is the jack getting jacks the point of this game?
Yeah, as far as you're concerned, yeah. So you didn't
Mhm.
do so well.
Xandal, I went over the rules. It's not real complicated. You just try to get to 5 cards, and then whoever has the best hand wins.
I was.
Leander screams reverse.
so the lot of Mariana Quintus, Siduri, and Leander have a very strangely intense game of Texas Hold'em for a little bit. A Siduri, it ends up being you and Quintus in the last round, and when the cards are shown,
I will say, like, I didn't cast guidance, so like we did straight up tie.
Oh.
Roll off.
oh,
Oh.
Oh, son of a bitch! I thought we were playing gin.
What, you know Jin? Nobody knows Jin.
Oh no, I meant Jim. He's Terry's cousin.
so at the draw between the two of you, um, Siduri's 2 cards begin glowing.
Well, I start backing away.
Um, as you begin backing away, the oh goodness, what was your cool? Great. Um, as you begin backing away, uh, your friends begin to disappear. Not, don't worry, you guys, you're fine. But to Siduri, um, the desert just sort of, they just fade away as she's backing up, and she bumps into something.
Slowly turn around, ready to just dart forward.
It is a taller Kaveri man, in like gold trimmed, uh like wandering apparel. uh he has 2 little ears that are poking out of a um wrap on his head, and he is wearing a very, very nice set of like gold rimmed reading glasses and a uh sort of pocket watch in the breast pocket of a vest that he's wearing all of his stuff over.
You cannot sneak up on people like that. That is just plain rude. You nearly scared me half to death. Who the hell are you? What are you doing out here? What? Where is everybody else?
He sort of walks past you and chuckles. I do believe we've met before. You don't recognize me?
No, I know who you are, but I never actually did get your name.
Oh, you never got my name.
No, we had the we had that one game, well, series of games, and then I never found you again. You never went back to the Rowdy Raven, so I have no idea what your name is.
You can call me, as most people do, Silas.
You're putting me on.
Pardon?
Silas. Like Silas.
The one and only. Well, I'm sure there are some kids running around there named Silas now. But I was the first. I suppose that don't matter. Time sort of. He sort of shrugs.
I suppose I should curtsy or something. I would, but my skirts, you can see, have been rather destroyed.
Um, hmm. Well, we'll get to that in 1 second. Congratulations, by the way, on finding the deck.
This? It was
Yes.
in that
Uh,
tower in the archives. What does that got to do with anything?
What's that got to do with?
Anything. What's so
Oh,
special
they
about
have a
this?
nasty habit of. Well, you think they just took it from me?
Oh, were these yours? Do you want them back?
It's a gift. You see, I put them there on purpose for yours truly.
All right.
Now,
You might go ahead.
so are you going to stop asking questions? Because you're running out of time. I
I'm
do
listening.
have, I do have, I guess, a little hint on how this works. Now, each card won't summon me, but they are all infused. However, you do have to be the one that, you know, I guess your friend was right. You do have to have some intent. Or, conversely, win a bet, which is technically what you did. Now, I'm giving you a little leeway because it's your first time. You get 2 questions. Could be anything. And I, as per your hand, am obliged to answer.
Uh-huh. Well, now I'm afraid.
Again, don't work
Now,
like this all the time.
well, now I'm afraid to try to clarify because I'm afraid that might use up my questions.
He takes out his pocket watch and puts it back in. Well, now it will. Shoot.
All right, why come to me? I tried being one of your priests. That didn't work out. Why come now? When I'm out here in the desert, fitting to die, or go sand mad, or be carried off by some what? What did Mariana call it? Bitch dragon? Why now? Why here? What?
Well, that answer is twofold, honey. One, if you've ever noticed, you don't feel any sort of connection. None of the priests do. If they say they do, they're lying. I can't really contact you within the walls of the city. I did visit you that one time, but that was that was tricky. A lot of time manipulation and overlapping and stuff. It's not too stable. That's why I dipped out as soon as I could. I did also watch what happened, what followed. Second part of that answer is I'm a betting man. I've bet plenty on plenty of people lately, and I don't see them going as well as you. You're a little special, given what happened that same night. You got something that I think nobody else does. Well, not nobody else. I think your friend Leander might have something, but not in him. You got something that might save the world because it is on the verge of collapse. If anyone else tells you different, they're crazy. I feel like the people out here in the Waste know a little bit better than most. So we'll be in touch. Second question.
World's on verge of collapse. What do you expect me to do about it? I'm just I'm just a gambler and an actress. I know what you're talking about, and I will thank you to keep that to yourself. I suppose it don't much matter now out here, but what am I supposed to do to stop the
Well,
world collapsing? What are
it
we
is
supposed to do?
perform the rites, but do it different this time. Instead of just pushing those ugly, ugly creatures back to where they came, kill them outright. I think you got what it takes. Now, granted, it isn't going to be easy, but since you got a touch of what they got, I think you're my best bet. At first, I didn't think you were going to make it. And I thought you were going to be a force of evil. But seeing your good heart and charm and all of that, I think that is some pretty important stuff to, stopping the whole end of the world thing. I'm afraid too. I might die, but it is what it is. And with that, um, he sort of does a little nod. He sort of puts his hand up to like tip a hat, but realizes he doesn't have a hat on, and just sort of like nods and gives a little salute, and turns around, and like your friends did before, he just sort of vanishes from sight. The rest of you, what you saw was Siduri backing away from the carts. Her eyes, like, she blinks and her eyes are glowing gold for a second. She blinks again and she's back in the world.
Whoa.
How many fingers am I holding up?
What the? Where?
I mean, you won. I mean, it's not that surprising. It's
No, it's a draw, Quintus. I've got a king and a jack. You got a king and a jack. I don't. Wait, how do we have? Yeah, no. I guess the other two jacks are over there with Xandal. That's weird odds. Huh. Two kings and an 8 in the huh. I think I might be going sand mad. Or I was just visited by Silas, one or the other. Maybe both.
What?
Y'all have been out here in the wastes for a while. And so I understand if this next question kind of sounds like an obvious one, but I need you to sort of really get my meaning. Is the world falling apart out here?
Make
Like
me
like
make me history, religion, or arcana, the all of you. Or rather, Xandal and Mariana, the two of you. Your choice.
Kind
Falling apart? Yes. But mostly from like resource shortages or bandits or things like that. Haven't heard much tell of the world ending.
I mean, the place sucks.
no, I don't mean bandits. I don't mean it sucks. I don't mean the sand or the sand madness or the acid pools or any of the normal waste stuff.
Or the chicken dragons.
Or the chicken dragons.
Mhm.
You know, maybe y'all know a place we could go find some scholars or maybe some hell, I might even take some priests at this point.
Mm. Do you want to look at a map?
I mean, Xandal, I've been out here for as long as you've known me. I don't know that a map's gonna do me any good.
Mhm.
I'm gonna open the book to the page with the ley lines.
Mariana? You're a genius.
I don't see why I would ever look at a different map.
It's fair enough.
All right. So, these ley lines, so it is like a globe with the sort of face of this whole landmass, like poking up and being like the center frame of the globe. Um, there are a few, like, the lines go all through like through the globe, as it were. However, there are a few like points in the line that continues. um One of them is, let me just mark this map. One of them is right here. Another is up here. The fourth one is all the way up at the top, closest to God, up there. And
Whoa.
the last one is right here. Oh, there's one more. I'm sorry.
And is this where like, and on the map, is this where the lines intersect with one another?
Um. Yes. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. I just wanted to be sure.
There are like lines going across like vertically and horizontally at different like angles and stuff, and they cross at these points.
Do you think this is where the fountains are? All of them?
Fountains? What fountains?
The sources of magic, right? You know what the whole plane sort of warred over for like a not insubstantial amount of time.
Be
Well, there's one in Shotal.
seems real odd given the way they hate most kinds of magic there.
But
Well,
didn't Shotal form around a fountain of magic back in the day?
yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Like magic was so powerful that they decided that it would be best if only a select few even had access to it. That's why my people were taken the way they were, and why the things that our possessions were taken. Yeah, we were
But
not.
it's not only that it's so powerful, only a few people should have it, but those who would be irresponsible with it would literally tear the weave apart, and overuse of magic is dangerous for everyone. The use of magic itself leads us closer to the destruction of the world.
Okay. Regardless, it is a pretty deliberate move to only let a few people even have access to any of these things. I mean, Quintus, did you ever see things that were confiscated ever again?
No.
How do you know they were not being used by somebody else?
I guess I do not.
Listen, if this map has the intersection of these points here at Shotal, that means I can't think of another reason why any of these other places, would not also be fountains.
I think that's a very good point. How close are we to this one? I'll point at this one that's out in the waste.
Uh, uh, I look at Xandal.
I don't know if I'd have any way of knowing this.
Do
I
you have
could
the
try
Outlander background?
Nope. I got Far Traveler.
Ah,
I have
worse.
survival. I got survival.
Yeah, give me survival.
This is gonna be bad. Oh wow.
Me too.
Wonderful.
You know what? Down to the centimeter.
Yeah. Just stroking the beard.
All right. So, you know that you guys started from a little coastal village about around here. Oops, sorry, that is way too small. Let's go with this. You took like a 10-day journey sort of south by southeast, and that would put you around like here-ish.
Okay. So
So
weeks then, right? If it took us
uh
several days.
yeah,
Yeah. Roughly. Yeah, because it took us how many days to get to here? About
10, about 10.
yeah. And was that 10 days before we found them, or rather 10 days including the time that we found them, or 10 days since we found
Oh,
them?
sorry, right.
Yeah. I think it's been like 7 days we must have been wandering, and then I think it's been 3 to 4 we've been with them. Maybe
Mhm.
4.
So it would probably be like a 50 or 60-day journey. Well, we better get to walking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there a town along the way? Maybe we can get supplies or a ride or carriage or something rather than walking through the desert for 2 months?
Leander can make the the berry pellets, and Quintus can make the water hole.
Yeah, about that. Can anybody make crossbow bolts?
No. What do you need for it? Like a rock and a stick?
Well,
Sharp rock.
yeah, I mean, I guess in a pinch.
Okay, we will look for sharp rocks. Not many sticks though.
Yeah. So, there are other supplies we need. Like I might be wanting some, I don't know, skirts instead of
Why?
walking around with my tail because my clothes were ruined in an acid
Mhm.
pool, Xandal.
Do you want some of mine?
Xandal.
Mm.
Siduri walks up to Xandal and does the thing where you put your hand on your head and then like goes over to Xandal's like maybe knee.
Yes, so a lot could, or a little could do a lot. We could give you some. We could fashion a garment.
Do you sew? Do you have sewing supplies? Because
I
I
do not.
don't. I don't do either one of those things.
You will
So
have to wrap it probably.
Xandal, let's try this a
why
little
are you
differently.
so against finding a town?
I'm not against finding a town, but
Are you aware
not.
of a town?
He
No.
doesn't do so good in towns. Also,
Mm,
they're hard to find.
yes. Maybe we
So
will find bandits and kill the bandits.
Y'all didn't come from a town,
We
or
did.
have you literally? Well, then why don't we go back there?
It is the wrong direction.
I mean, it would be faster to go that way and resupply than it would be to just wander through. It's okay.
um in addition to knowing where you started, Xandal, you do happen to remember like that there is a small town along the way around like here, just in the middle of the desert, as well as the people on the Beatles.
Mhm.
They said that their city was like southwest from where you were, but only like a 3-day journey. Uh, and that was only like a day or two before you like found the archives.
So yeah,
So
my
that
theory.
you have that here.
Mhm. I'll point out where I think the Beatles would be, and then begrudgingly point to the small city and say we could go to the. There's a small settlement here, I think.
You have definitely made somebody mad there, though. Not
People,
anyone important, but like you made somebody pissed off. I think you
they
just
were
won a
not.
bar fight a little too hard.
They were not respectful to the mother.
Oh, oh, Cody.
Good God, we're traveling with Norman Bates.
I
Oh,
know.
We could go to the settlements, but there will probably not be as many bandits.
only you would think that's the
That
downside.
is a good thing, I thought.
Hmm Xandal has just pulled part of the dress up over his face a little bit and is clearly pouting. I will. Do we think there will be danger at the fountain?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, then this is acceptable if the danger is sufficient. On the way, then it can be boring, perhaps.
You know, it's very interesting that that's sort of the imagery that gets conjured when we talk about the magic focal points. Here, look, and she'll turn the page to the image of the gods of death in their exchange through a fountain.
Hmm.
Huh? Huh? Weird, huh?
Oh,
No? Nobody else think that's weird? Okay.
No, it's weird.
Mm, Are they literal fountains or metaphorical fountains? Or both?
Have any of us gotten a chance to see the fountain?
Other than the picture, and it looks both? Question
Yeah.
mark? Because it ain't a fountain of water for
Mhm.
sure, but it's sure a cascade of some sort.
I mean, it's not a coincidence.
Well, what is the group consensus then? We can go back to the fishing village. We can go to the beetle riders. We can go to the little village on the way. If you need supplies, I suppose choose what kind of supplies you need and where you think you could get them best.
I don't know this place very well. I'm having to rely on you and Mariana. I've been out here for a week or so at most.
yeah, I'd say we head to whichever one's closest.
Should be the Beetle Boys.
Mm-hmm. The beetle riders, Utamile.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Is that what everybody else wants to do?
If it gets us out of this sand,
It will not. It will
Not
get us adjacent to the sand.
good enough.
Mhm.
speaking of, Mariana's gonna like put her teeth to some more of her robes and begin to tear and give uh some fabric to Siduri to wear.
Mariana, you didn't have to. I would have been fine till we got to wherever we're going. It just,
Oh, I don't feel like you'd feel very comfortable walking into town half naked, but I do it most of the time, so.
well, thank you. I do have enough skirt left and my fur, and thank you though.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to get you something though because you just tore up. Well,
I've
what
sort of
little
been
you were
wearing the
wearing, you were
same.
torn up.
Yeah, no, I've been wearing the same thing for like mm, over a year at least.
Oh my lord.
You know, all this talk about buying new clothes and buying supplies, that begs the question, did we find any coin in there?
Time to look at my inventory. I did not coin, not yet coin, but I have a gold dust that would be pretty cool to turn into ink, but I don't think you guys care about that.
I have 2 metal arms.
I have some coin from when we left Showtail.
Hmm.
I don't know why they left me with that if it well, but they did.
Coin is fine, but barter may be better.
Yeah, sounds like we'll be bartering.
Well,
All right, nothing wrong with a little hard work.
Well, like you said, maybe we'll find some bandits along the way, and then we can barter with what we take from the bandits.
yes. Does anybody want to not walk? I can carry someone easily enough. Quintus, you may have to. You are holding heavier things, more unwieldy.
No, yes, I will walk as far as my feet will carry me.
Siduri.
I'm good for a while, thank you, though.
Yeah, I'll start walking off in that direction.
As we're walking, Leander will pull out one of the new crossbow bolts that he found and just sort of hold it out. Say, anybody ever seen a crossbow bolt like this before? I mean, it clearly can be used in my crossbow. I'm just not sure what's in this tip up here.
Gosh, what check would that be? Fucking Arcana, I guess?
I don't know.
Arcana, I guess, in parentheses.
I'm not trained in that. I'm not.
Cody, you have to stop rolling so well.
I usually don't on intelligence things. I've been hovering right around like a 7, 8, 7.
Now, Sandal,
Yeah.
I know we haven't known each other very long, but I think I can tell what that glint in your eye means. You've seen this before.
Yes. On some bandits, they used something similar to this. There's a pin right underneath the tip of the crossbow, because it's like a little glass vial with a metal tip at the end, sort of enclosed in like a little metal housing. And they pulled the tip, and when they fired it, it exploded in acid. You remember getting some on you, and it hurt real bad. And they didn't hit you. They didn't hit you, and you got some acid on you, and it was real bad. But you hammered their heads in, so that was fine.
Yeah, I think you see like him reflexively like rubbing one of his arms. You activate it and it explodes. It is acid.
All right. Nice to have an arsenal. Sounds like you fought quite a number of interesting things.
Not very interesting, no. Bandits mostly. No chicken dragons.
Is that something you're looking to cross off your list?
I believe so, but I would have to see one for myself.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get lucky and find a chicken dragon for you on our journey.
Of the things I fought, Mariana was the most interesting.
She beams, bares her teeth.
When I struck her, instead of rolling away or to the side like most do, she rolled towards me.
Leander looks back at Mariana, and you were giving me grief for doing this research to try and get my sister back. Remember, when you least expect it, expect it.
I jump you.
Oh, God!
You
It's
have
funny because in the dark I'd be fucked, but
it's bright as day outside.
Yeah, I'm going to try and dodge. And not likely successful.
No fighting.
No,
you know, in fairness, I should roll my athletics check.
you should.
Yeah, okay.
No
Yeah.
biting, no hair pulling, no kicking joints.
You know, you've crossed like 3 things off of my
Mhm.
favorite things to do.
Yes, eat. Warm up.
I after you are taken to the ground, I let you up.
All right, well, I guess that was the moment when you were least expecting it.
I'll help Leander to his feet. Like, just pick him up by his shoulders and set him on his feet and, like, try to brush off some sand from his shoulder and especially off the back of the headband.
Well, gonna we see these Beetle boys. I'm gonna see if they can put a visor or something on this sweatband here, because I think the sun got in my eyes. I think that's what the problem was there.
There is no shame in being taken down by her specifically.
Everyone else, shame. Ariana, no.
Oh no, we got a hell of combatants here.
I also did not keep my feet. I won the fight, but I lost the battle.
Wait,
Yeah, he's stuck with me now.
wait, those aren't your feet.
Stares at you blankly.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I got it. I'm sorry. I think maybe I knocked my head on something.
Just shakes some dust off you a little bit more and then goes walking off.
So,
Probably for the next 5 minutes, Leander's shaking sand out of his afro.
fantastic. And as you guys walk into the sunset, we are going to take our 15. I'll see you back at 24. I can math, right?
Yeah.
It's good math.
Okay. That's good math. Quick maths. All right, guys.
And now, intermission. Refreshment time.
Sure is great being at a drive-in watching Super Flick and eating all this great food.
This flick is making me hungry.
It makes me want to flick my bick.
We should have gone to the drive-in where we could eat and flick to our heart's content.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Well, come on then. I'm going to have a pizza and popcorn, and ice cream.
And I'm gonna have a burger with fries and a soft drink. Yum, yum, yum. This was a great idea.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. How about a pizza? None better anywhere.
Sneaking out to the drive-in? Why not take the kiddies along and save the expense of a sitter? Everyone enjoys the drive-in.
our new Cutlass now?
Sure handles easy.
Drive happy, Cutlass can make you a little drive happy.
I forgot to get the newspaper.
Glad we ordered these swivel bucket seats.
Yeah, in case I get to drive someday.
The Cutlass S, Oldsmobile's sporty fastback at a price that's less than you might think, to help make you really drive happy.
Drive happy.
Can I drive now?
Take a good look at Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile dealership, and then take a drive in a new Oldsmobile, Cadillac, or one of the fine used cars, serviced by Clyde's 21 factory-trained personnel and expert craftsmen. Cadillac and Oldsmobile means the very best in automobiles, and Clyde Garfield is the best in dealership and service. Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile, New England Automobile Village, Route 3, New Hampshire.
You're invited to stop in at Nashua's own McDonald's on Route 101A. You'll find McDonald's high-quality, fast service, and reasonable prices. Also, visit McDonald's at the Drum Hill shopping area in Chelmsford. Treat yourself and the family at McDonald's soon.
And now, intermission. Refreshment time.
Sure is great being in a drive-in watching Super Flick and eating all this great food.
This flick is making me hungry.
It makes me want to flick my bick.
We should have gone to the drive-in where we could eat and flick to our heart's content.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Well, come on then. I'm going to have a pizza and popcorn and ice cream.
And I'm gonna have a burger with fries and a soft drink. Yum, yum, yum. This was a great idea.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome. It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now. Sparkling soft drinks. Steaming hot coffee. Steamed or grilled hot dogs. Crispy hot fresh French fries. How about a pizza? None better anywhere.
Sneaking out to the drive-in? Why not take the kiddies along and save the expense of a sitter? Everyone enjoys the drive-in.
Cutlass now? Sure handles easy.
Drive happy, Cutlass can make you a little drive happy.
I forgot to get the newspaper.
Glad we ordered these swivel bucket seats.
Yeah, in case I get to drive someday.
The Cutlass S, Oldsmobile's sporty fastback at a price that's less than you might think to help make you really drive happy.
Drive happy.
Can I drive now?
Take a good look at Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile dealership. And then take a drive in a new Oldsmobile, Cadillac, or one of the fine used cars. Serviced by Clyde's 21 factory-trained personnel and expert craftsmen. Cadillac and Oldsmobile means the very best in automobiles. And Clyde Garfield is the best in dealership and service. Clyde Garfield's Cadillac and Oldsmobile, New England Automobile Village, Route 3, New Hampshire.
You're invited to stop in at Nashua's own McDonald's on Route 101A. You'll find McDonald's high-quality, fast service, and reasonable prices. Also, visit McDonald's at the Drum Hill shopping area in Chelmsford. Treat yourself and the family at McDonald's soon.
Great. So it's funny that you guys like ended the last session like a JoJo episode, just walking walking into the sunset.
Bam, bam.
Now it's nighttime again. After walking, it's gotten dark. You all are sufficiently tired, and it's time to do watch or not. Your choice.
I'm really bad at watch, guys.
Yeah. I'll definitely do one. I feel like I have to.
Yeah, Leander will do one in the middle of the night.
Quinn
This
will
is what
take a
y'all
lot.
get for getting dark vision.
Quinn gets up early. He doesn't have dark vision though.
Thanks, Quinn.
Yeah, I'll do
All
like
right.
the
So
darkest part of
what's
the
the
night.
order? Okay.
Yeah, Siduri will also take one during the darker part.
So let's say Quintus, Leander.
Well, I think Quintus is going last because he wakes up early.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the morning, whenever the sun starts to rise and the sky's a little bit blue.
I'll do the first one then.
Leander will go second.
Yeah, that means I'm third and Quintus fourth. Here's the problem with third watch, y'all.
Well, balance
No
as all
guidance.
things should be.
All right. So, Xandal, your watch goes off without a hitch. Leander, so does yours. Um, Siduri,
Mhm.
your your watch also goes off fine, though you've been sleeping a little fitfully for some reason. Like you wake up and you feel like you haven't gotten that like deep sleep. And Quintus, in the morning time, you see a bit of like steam on the horizon.
That's odd.
And it's coming your direction.
Yeah, I bet it's nothing.
That's weird. Just reclines back in the sand.
Eh.
um.
Well, there seems to be more of it now. Oh, I should
What are
probably
your
wake
sleeping
up.
arrangements? Like how close together do you guys sleep?
I guess that depends on how many tents we have.
I got a
Hopefully close enough
trench.
together that one person on watch can be like, "Hey, everybody, wake up!" and
Yeah.
everybody can hear them.
Slime dogs are back.
We got some steam or something, I guess. It's just unusual and approaching.
Xandal. Actually, yeah, Xandal. When you open your eyes, there's somebody standing over you. Smiling.
What does this person look like so I can decide what level of violence is about to happen?
You gotta just base it solely off of appearance.
Well,
don't have a whole lot else to go off of at the moment.
They're smiling. That's usually not actually good.
Well, it's like a strangely comforting smile for the man that it is attached to. It's a human man who, upon like further inspection, as your eyes just sort of like go up and down his body, no weapons on him. He has like shoulder length black hair that is parted like in the center, and it's kind of greasy looking, and like a very like well groomed like mustache and beard. He wears no, not parted in the middle. It's just parted out of his face. It is kind of wild though, so some strands just land in the middle and he brushes them off. He's wearing sort of very baggy, loose, comfy pants and a sort of dirty white like shirt blouse thing. And he says, "Well, good morning."
Okay. Speak your piece before the fighting starts.
"Oh, I'm not here to fight, nor am I here to steal."
And what are you here for?
"I guess to introduce myself, my name's Thatch." He sort of like stands back and extends a hand towards you.
I look at everybody else. Is this just
Every-
in my head?
Everyone else now notices that there's a man speaking quietly to Xandal and extending his hand for a handshake.
I'll get to my feet and like glance at his hand suspiciously. Then eventually shake it.
When you do, he sort of cracks a smile. Is like, "What do I look like? A clown? I don't got no buzzer. Come on." And he just like firmly grips your hand and gives it a good shake. and then was just walking through quote unquote camp, sort of like he's familiar with it.
We need. I'm just glancing at Quintus with a
Quintus,
glare.
the steam is still approaching, and it is pretty close. It's getting here in like a minute.
I mean, look, I don't know where this guy came from. I was worried about this steam. That is obviously a threat of some kind, and he must have materialized, teleportation or some such.
Right.
I would have seen him if he had approached normally.
He said his name is Thatch. Thatch, do you know anything about that?
Oh, yeah, those are my friends. Well,
What are you
business
and your friends
partners.
doing?
Well, we were out here sort of looking for a artifact.
What sort of artifact?
I don't know. The egghead knows what it is. There's just some kind of book.
Well, I know a lot about books. What sort of book?
Now that is the question that I can't answer. Because again, when he starts talking, I sort of have a habit of doing something else.
I understand.
Hey!
Leander draws his
Quintus,
crossbow.
you see an ember coach crest a dune, Quintus.
Well, now, I mean, I don't know what about our little group here makes you think any of us would have any books, but I can assure you that even if we did, we aren't going to give them over easily, and, you best just tell your friends to go back somewhere else, or, we're actually in need of a little bit quicker means of locomotion, so, I mean, you could offer us a ride and be real kind, or, I guess it's up to you.
Well, I'm usually not the one to make a decision without getting something out of it. But I'm sure the folks I'm riding with won't have a problem with that. We are going somewhere right now. Some sort of big building out in the sand. Oh! You look like you know the place. What a coincidence.
Leander pulls the drawstring back on the hand crossbow and points it at Thatch's face. How many people in the Ember Coach, friend?
He sort of like counts on his fingers. 3.
Excellent. Get on your
Myself
knees.
Yeah, that ain't happening, bud.
I'm gonna try to knock this guy to the ground. Am I
All
allowed
right.
to?
Yeah, go ahead and try.
All right.
Oh boy. Yeah, you do. God, Jesus. Get off me.
Nice.
Well, I start walking towards the Ember Coach.
Leander's gonna.
He then like Go ahead.
Leander's going to try and hogtie this guy.
Yeah. As you walk towards him, he vanishes in like a black mist and appears like 30 feet away towards the Ember Coach. Man, I've lost my touch. I'm usually great with people. And the Ember Coach stops beside him, and two people burst out
I guess at this point,
yelling,
Sadori will
and both of them are yelling at Thatch. What the fuck are you doing? The two people that come out of the Ember Coach are a young man with like a darker complexion and a like short cropped hair and sort of like monk's robes. The other one is a Faerun young man who has giant spectacles and is very, funnily enough, from all of you who have lived in the city, you've never seen a tan Faerun. But this one, like, the bluishness has sort of worn off, and he's like more of a pale human complexion. Like freckles on his nose and stuff. And both of them just sort of like grab Thatch and like push him inside the Ember Coach and step out and like, I'm so sorry. Right. So, I guess you aren't violent, ish. The Faerun man says.
That remains
You're not
to
bad,
be
right?
seen.
You must be the scientist he was talking about.
Scientists? None.
Academic,
No, no, no,
something
no.
like that.
Academic, yes.
Egghead.
Egghead, that's what he said.
He sort of furrows his brow at you and just extends a hand and says, "You may call me Ara."
Howdy.
Hello.
Hi there, I'm Sadori.
Have you come to give us a ride to our destination? Just a taxi service?
It's not a taxi service, although it has become one, I guess, since Thatch joined. Hmm. I guess we were going somewhere. If you needed a ride there, we would be happy to oblige. But it's kind of, in the middle of the wastes, in the sinking sands, and is very dangerous. It's an archive? The Great Archives, actually. He pushes up his glasses.
Oh. Oh, we were actually headed, and she points vaguely in the direction they were walking before.
Ah, I see that's the opposite direction. Well,
Mhm.
I suppose then we'll go and just do some tomb delving. Or rather, archive dungeon. It's scary to me. I don't like to get involved in these things.
Oh. Well, good luck then. If it's as scary as you make it sound. Good luck.
I mean, if you happen to have any information on a book, the book of rites, that would be absolutely fantastic.
What is it?
The book of rites?
What is it?
Um, he opens his mouth to start explaining it to you, and Go ahead and make me a deception check, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? I'm proficient in these. That doesn't surprise me at all, though.
Well,
I didn't think I was proficient in that. Who knows? Maybe the egghead's insight is bad.
Thatch appears about 15 feet from you, sitting cross-legged, and just taps his nose and is like, "Come on, you can do better than that."
I would like to try to knock him off his feet again.
I thought Jim
Okay.
said he was sitting on the
Damn.
ground.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's right.
He might not fall for it a second time.
Let me just roll this. And he does not. He sort of like he grabs your arms as you're going for him, and like sort of like as you try and kick his legs from under him, he sort of goes, "Whoop, not that, not again. Can't fall for the same trick twice."
Oh, you'd be surprised.
The other two are like, "Whoa, okay,
uh,
stop fighting, please."
I'm gonna throw the archivist's arm onto the ground in front of me, and then look at them and say, "Finders keepers."
Ara just looks at that arm and is like, and what might that be?
I'll take out the one that isn't for the archivist and just lob it over in their direction.
Where did you get those?
I'll gesture to Thatch. I believe he already knows the answer to that question.
And you're still not talking. Well,
You're an egghead. You're not real quick on the uptake, are you?
no, forgive me. I'm sorry. I just usually don't deal with people, is all.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, the human man steps forward, and waves. Hi, I'm Hadir, by the way.
Hello, Hadir. Well,
how you doing? Nice to meet you. I guess.
If you want to negotiate, understand that we very probably have what you want, but we will not give it.
Well, I mean, I was just looking for information
Mm-hmm.
on the book and its whereabouts. You see, it's a hard thing to come by, and I have one, but the pages are missing.
You have one of the books?
Yes, it's in the Ember Coach.
Oh,
It was a gift. Yes.
from who?
Um, that's kind of a personal question.
Well, okay, but here's the deal. I have the other one, and we can maybe both look together, but no stealing.
Oh my
Or I'll,
goodness, I wouldn't dare.
she looks at Thatch.
What, you think I read? The only thing I read are
Anyone can
numbers and
raid.
stars. Okay.
I have 2 requests. Transportation. And I'll point to Siduri. Fine clothing.
Okay, well, that one may be hard because she's little.
Yeah.
It is a start.
Okay. Transport would be nice, but maybe we can
Well-
start by just seeing each other's books. If you have pages missing, maybe I have pages missing.
Yeah. He says, yes. Come in if you wouldn't mind. He gestures for you to follow him into the Ember coach.
Hold on one second, Fred. Anybody else in that Ember coach?
Yes. Just one other person. Our other friend.
So there's 4 of you.
Yes. Did not tell you there were 4 of us. Are you deaf?
That's no one wants to hear from you right now. You understand? That's what happens when you just show up as people you don't even know are sleeping. They tend not to want to hear from you after that. Understand?
I miss city living. He just sort of like puts his arms behind his back and starts walking away.
All right. Well, who can show me the cockpit of this Ember coach? I've never seen the business end of one of these things, where all the driving gets done.
I mean, it's right in here. You have to enter the thing first, of course.
Fantastic.
I will keep an eye on Thatch. I just like look at the Ember coach and then go like walking off in the direction that Thatch wandered.
He's going back inside as well.
How big is the Ember coach?
It is pretty reasonably big. It has about the square footage of like a small RV, but it's a little bit more square, and it also has a loft. Give me a perception check if you would, all of you, as you enter. Whoever is entering, I should say.
Well, Quintus at least looks like we got a ride.
Those of you, basically everyone except for Siduri and Mariana, you see a large a set of like saucer feline eyes underneath a big hood in the loft, peeking out over it down at the entrance, and immediately just scurries away.
Book?
Yes, right. Hadir, do you mind showing this other I never got your name.
Mariana Varhill.
Uh n- n- thank you. Nice to meet you, of course. I meant the red-haired fellow?
My name's Steve.
His name is Steve.
Okay. Hadir, show Steve the sort of cockpit, I suppose. All right. This way, he beckons you, Mariana, to like the back end of the Ember coach, which has turned into like sort of a cluttered little library. There are just like inks and books everywhere. It's really cozy look in, there is like a little like couch sunbed thing next to the back window, and bookshelves that are um like all the way up to the roof, filled with just random tomes and stuff. On the corner of one of these, there's a glass case which he takes a key and unlocks it and pulls out the Book of Rites. This one is not in as good condition as yours, Mariana. It has some burn marks, and when he opens it and begins flipping through it, um, you can see from what you have read that there are even pages like in the beginning with like um like the scenes of the gods and the rites and everything. Some of these pages are burnt or just torn out completely, as well as like going through, you see some of the like at the spine there's like a page torn out and stuff towards the back.
And what are you doing with this?
Well, I hope to conduct the rites. Uh, you see, this book is used in said ritual. However, there needs to be a third party to set it up in layman's terms. Um, However, one does need one of these books intact because the book itself is magic. Of course. I don't know why I said that. Of course it's magic.
Yeah. Yeah, did it try to talk to you?
Did it what now?
Did it try to talk to you?
No.
Oh.
She like shrugs as if it's not a big deal.
Well,
anyways, um, y- I do know how to use it in the ritual, theoretically. I again was just looking for one that was intact, so I could conduct one, and I was building sort of a team, I guess. So yes, on the convergence day, uh, hopefully we should be back in Raya by the time that that happens.
uh, well, here's the thing. Um, I'm not going to be getting rid of this or letting it out of my sight pretty much ever until I don't know.
I mean, you could supervise me. I'm not trying to steal it.
Hmm.
I would very much love to read one that is intact.
Yeah. I don't know though. I mean, like it tried to tell me something. I think like it got all glowy and the water started spinning and the
I'll be right
pages
back. I'm
started
sorry.
flying.
Okay. What do you think, guys?
Oh, I definitely trust these people.
I trust that Ara probably is in over his head, but has his heart in the right place.
I also trust that there's a 99% chance the combination of Leander and Xandal are going to make this situation worse.
Oh, yeah. It's good to see the aggro reflected in someone else.
Hi, sorry. I don't know if I was muted or not for that.
No, you were. You're
Sure.
good.
Or- Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, the book it tried to tell me something. I think I might need more time with it before I know what it was trying to say.
My goodness, that's fantastic. Do you feel anything? Is there any um thing that came with it? Usually that's what happens. Like you can use the book um to sort of imitate the rites outside of the rites.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Uh,
Can
no,
you?
no. Well, no. I only had it. Well, I've only had it for like a day, and it's been out in the sun. You know.
Mm.
But
Well,
like, I mean, maybe could come with you and see what you think that this is for. You know.
he sort of chuckles and is like, I mean, I've been studying this for my entire life. I hope I would know what it's for.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, it's all the powers of the gods, right? And like they're supposed to be unknowable, sort of.
Well, that's the purpose of the rites. The ones who participate are the ones who end up getting the they ascend at some point, like they did in the past.
Yeah. So, do you want to be a big important person? Yeah.
No, no, no. I'm just the reader, or I'm supposed to be. I'm the one who conducts the rites. The person who does that doesn't get anything, to my knowledge, of course.
Mm,
I'm the one which it channels through. Or, I mean, I hope to be. You know.
yeah. Uh. Well, I don't really know you. Um.
I'm gonna try to. I would like to like. I have a feeling I've probably got a pretty good understanding of this guy, but I want to see if I can like if an insight check might provide more information.
Let's see it.
Yeah, that figures.
Um, with a 10, I think you feel like your judgment is clouded by suspicion.
Yeah.
He does seem incredibly earnest, but
Mhm.
that could just be a very good lie, and you cannot suss out which one it is.
Yeah.
So I've been in the West now for like a while, and this sort of thing was like, I don't know, maybe an opportunity for me to finally get the place home. Uh, I mean, if the book does not get destroyed, um, then I suppose I could supervise you and take it back when you're done.
Yes. Um, the book is difficult to be destroyed in proper use, of course. It's made to channel incredible, unknowable amounts of magic.
Yeah.
That one, or this one, isn't so lucky. It was destroyed.
Mm. Okay, but you're not going to do that to this one, right?
I didn't do that to this one either. It was like that when it was given to me.
Who gave it to you?
My brother.
Is he?
She kind of bares her teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh. Well, I could come with you and make sure nothing happens to this. Yeah.
I would be overjoyed. Um. Meanwhile, Hadir shows Leander to the engine room, which is incredibly cramped.
Oh man, not a lot of room in here. Well, what's this thing run off of?
Nope. It is also very hot in here.
Oh God. Do you have to drive the thing from in here? Holy moly, steamy.
Mm-hmm. Usually not as bad as it gets out there, but it's sort of confined, so it feels that way.
Oh, I bet it. There's just barely room for the two of us in here. Holy moly, what's this thing up here? Hey, let me touch it. What's this over here? And Leander is just going to be a ball of energy because what Leander is trying to do is clock if there's a set of keys in here, right, or a key that makes this thing run. B, distract this person, and C, try and steal that key.
Short answer.
Mm-hmm.
No keys.
Awesome.
You just sort of like touch every lever and everything of this, and it just doesn't doesn't run.
Is there a door to this room?
Yeah, it just leads out into the like common area.
Mm-hmm.
/ library / loft. It's stacked.
Oh God. Whew. Man, it's real hot in here. Could is there like a water skid or something? Is there any water around here? Let me hold on. Step out for a second. Let me follow you. Let me. I think I left my water skid out on the table over there.
He like squints at you and then leads you out, and there is like
I'm not going out first. If he gets anywhere near the door, I'm trying to push him out the door.
Yeah, he goes out the door first.
Okay, then I try and slam the door behind him.
It's like, there's no door, to be clear. It's just
I gotcha.
It's just
all right. All right. Then I'll just take a seat in the room outside of the engine room. I'll just shoot the shit with this guy.
He pours you a glass of water in like a little pewter cup and gives it to you.
Yeah, so that is the spot right there.
So I guess I should do better at vetting. I've learned my lesson, so...
I don't know what you're talking about.
He glares at Thatch and then back at you.
I stand up. Hadir, are we going to have a problem?
Not if you don't want to.
Why don't you tell me what y'all are doing out here?
Looking for the Book of Rites, so the rest of us can participate in the rites. We're supposed to make it back to Harai in like, our time frame is a month, so that should be plenty of time. But
really, it's what's the name of that city again?
Pariah.
Pariah. That's within a month of walking distance from here.
No, that's just when the convergence happens and the rites start. And it's with an H.
Hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That's where we came from.
All right. Well, sounds like you don't need to go to that archive anymore.
Oh, I guess that was right. Well, okay, you still didn't answer who you were, what you do, anything, because I can't expect to just let anyone into this Ember coach. Not again.
Well, I got news for you. I'm in the Ember coach.
My mother always taught me to be welcoming to guests. I suppose it's a bad habit. You don't look like bandits, but, you know.
Well, my mother taught me not to judge a book by its cover, so I don't know what you are.
I mean, mostly fixed stuff, but, I also am pretty great at fighting.
Hmm.
I'm an acolyte of Onir. But, more in the sort of practicing instead of preaching.
All right, well, your friend Thatch out there has a real solid skill at making a bad first impression.
Yeah, he's convinced he doesn't, but, you know, it works better in a crowd instead of at night while people are sleeping. He's good at parties, bad at people.
All right, so what do we suppose we do next?
Well, if you have the book like you say you do, then we head back to Haraya. Maybe make a stop before resupply, all that stuff.
And what we want to do? Does that figure into this at all, or are you telling us we're going to Haraya with you if we have the book?
Well, I mean, it is where the rites are conducted, or one of the places. If you want to go, then you can. But if not, then, oh
If
well,
not, then
it
you're
is
going
a...
to let us leave with the book?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? You can take your book with you. I don't care. It's not like it's the last one or anything.
All right, then. I guess you and I'll just sit here and wait till Mariana and Ara finish their conversation.
What are the rest of you doing? Thatch walks in as you guys finish and just sort of stretches. Ugh, getting sort of crowded in here.
And to be clear, we're not moving currently.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Well, we've been doing an awful lot of walking. I don't feel too
keen to let this vehicle go without us on it. I feel like Riot's as good a place as any for us to go to. I don't know where it is or what it is, but if it has something to do with your last rites, I'm very curious.
Well, that's just as well. I mean, unfortunately, we don't really have a place to resupply. I figured we would find some place on the way back, which I know, but someone, he glares at Thatch, better map, and lost it. So we go until we run out of juice. If we don't find a town, we're fucked. Hi, DC.
No,
Oh, okay.
considering. Yeah, I think since we've been in the cart, Xandel has been conspicuously quiet, just sort of like hunched over menacingly.
Um, you hear a voice, Xandel.
Mm.
You're big.
Indeed.
Do you respond out loud?
Yeah.
Xandel says indeed out of nowhere.
Oh.
Who are
Indeed.
you?
Who are you?
I asked first.
Hmm. My name is Xandel.
Sandal.
Close enough. Who are you?
Afraid of you?
That is
I think.
wise, but if
But
it helps, I do not think I could swing the hammer in here.
the what? That rock?
This is not a rock.
Looks like a rock.
It is the mother of the wastes. A goddess.
Oh, a tar?
Hmm?
A tar. You know, the goddess of, you know, your folks?
Hmm. This is not that. A child,
Oh,
perhaps.
I know gods could have kids.
Hmm.
I'm Ershine.
Ursheen.
That's my name.
Hmm. If I look around, is Ursheen still hiding up in the like loft area? I assume.
If you look up into the loft, you see like a bundle of blankets like
Mm-hmm.
cover a big beady set of eyes.
And what is it you do here, Urshin?
She sort of peeks out underneath the blanket. I guess I fight things.
Mm. You fight things.
Mm-hmm. And I can do this.
What does
You
she
know,
do?
she's speaking with you telepathically.
Oh.
Yeah, so the rest of you
Yeah.
hear one side of this conversation.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I out loud say, do what?
uh, not talk.
But you are speaking.
Mm-mm. Her head peeks out, and like her mouth is closed, and she says, "I'm not talking. You're
Mm.
talking."
I have seen mummery before. You are
What?
sending your voice over to here. It is a trick. But you are still speaking.
More like thinking.
Hmm. You are thinking to me.
Mm-hmm.
I turn to everybody else. Does anybody hear the little one speak?
Sandal, I'm
sorry,
kind of
what?
busy right now.
I try to speak in my head and say, can you hear this?
Let me look it up to see if you can.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have
Yeah,
to reference.
listen up, dear. Don't worry about him. He just talking to the goddess that he carries around with him.
Oh no, that's Sergine,
That's what now?
the other passenger.
Hmm. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, they did say there's 4.
Yes, the sneaky bundle of rags up there.
She laughs at that out loud.
She says she can fight and also maybe speak within minds. Oh, but yeah, did she understand my brain speech? Or my brain thinking thoughts? You are muted, June.
Ah, yes, she did.
Oh. I'm gonna hold out the end of the mall and say, "Do you hear anything from in here?"
Um, she will go ahead and sort of slide out of the blanket fort and still wearing a very ridiculously oversized cloak with a hood all the way up. Um, she is a like a grayish white Kaveri with heterochromia. One eye is yellow and the other one is blue.
Oh.
She reaches out a hand and touches the mall and closes her eyes for a moment. Um, before saying, "Huh, Yeah, there's something, but doesn't want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm. This is okay. You are not worthy. Neither am I. There is no shame in this.
Right. So where'd you find it?
Mm. It found me.
Huh. Like it just walked over to you?
No,
Didn't ask it walk.
I was led to it. To her. By her.
That sure sounds like hard.
Hmm.
So, where are you going?
I'm not certain. This all still in my. I'm now trying to just speak directly in brain. Uh, wherever it is my companions want to go, I believe.
Oh, same.
Hmm. You said you fight.
hmm
With what?
Um, there is a pile of dishes like near a little like water basin, and they begin to float.
Yeah, he blinks. Oh, you can throw them.
I could throw you.
Oh, will you show me? Not in here. We may break something, but outside.
She shakes her head.
Hmm. You do not want to go outside.
I don't want to kill you.
Oh, you cannot throw me without killing me.
I can. It's killed a lot of people.
Hmm. Will you throw something so that I can see how far?
Fear doesn't like it when I do that. Not inside.
Not inside, outside.
Well, I can't go outside alone.
Hmm. I say out loud, I want to take her outside so that she can throw something with her mind. She wants permission.
Hadir gets up and like takes a sword off the wall and goes outside.
I'll reach up a hand to see if she. I'm gonna assume she actually just floats herself down, but I reflexively reach up a hand to see if she needs help down from the loft.
She'll just like hang herself like with her arms at like the edge of the loft and then drop down into a pile of a big cloak.
Yeah, I'm imagining the cloak is like telekinetically like floofing around.
No.
Just
It's dragging.
draped. Okay.
Hey, watch it. You're stepping on me.
Hmm.
Cloak.
I like take a big step to the side. I'm gonna look over at Leander and say, "Come, we should see this. It is interesting."
Mm,
She
uh,
claims to throw things with her mind. Very hard. She said she could kill me.
Leander will sort of side eye Thatch and then uh, follow Xandal out.
All right. Um she will she will like Hadir puts the the what you call it? The goodness, where is it? Ba- 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 she goes ahead and Hadir throws the sword on the ground, and um she goes ahead and like isn't moving, but just looks at the sword and it begins to float. It spins a few times, and uh she goes ahead and like it flies forward like 30 feet before releasing and just sort of like flies into the sand and looks up at you and says, I can't do it with objects that well.
Hmm.
It's easier with people.
Hmm. Perhaps we'll run into bandits so that you may show me.
I hope not.
Hmm. You are sure you could not throw one of us without killing us?
I could. It just hurts.
Hmm.
I'm not careful.
Hmm. When I trust your companions better, then you will try to throw me.
I won't throw you.
Hmm. I'll glance at Leander and say out loud, do you know of any other things that can throw objects with their mind?
Leander sort of scratches chin and pace around a little bit. You know, well, there was that one. No, I can't say that I do.
Hmm. Just nod, look back to her, and say verbally, we can go back inside now. But thank you for demonstrating.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. Have you always been able to do that?
Unfortunately.
Hmm. Why do you say unfortunately?
She doesn't respond.
Understood. I'll just open up the door to the Ember Coach and mentally say, I will not speak of it further. Apologies.
Thanks. I'm just out here because of it.
Mm-hmm. I'll look to Leander, back to watching the suspicious one.
Yeah.
That chimes in as like, who, a deer? You wouldn't hurt a fly.
No, you.
Me, suspicious.
The
Why?
bad gambler, yes.
Oh, I'm only bad if I try to be bad.
How did you teleport?
I don't know. It was a gift.
Zendel just folds his arms and glances at Leander.
All right. Everybody back in the Ember Coach.
Mm-hmm. I will reflexively try to help her back up into the loft, assuming she doesn't just levitate her way up.
She will take your help.
Mm-hmm. I suppose once she's back under her blanket fort, Zendel will just leave her alone.
Once everybody is in the Ember Coach, as we're getting into the Ember Coach, I should say, Leander's just going to say, oh, You know what? I'll meet y'all in there. I just left something over at camp. Let me go grab that real quick. I'll be in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to separate myself with from the group and have everybody else in the Ember Coach?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I would like to take some time, try and find anything that is more solid than sand and is movable, so that I can take one of my one or two of my special new green liquid crossbow bolts and place them in such a way that they will crush the tracks on this Ember Coach if it takes off.
So if this thing moves, it will crush the crossbow bolts and explode acid everywhere.
Yes. I'm basically trying to booby trap it so that if they leave without telling us, if they tell us, I can just say, okay, great. Like I'll know that we're leaving, and if we are choosing to go with them, I can go get the crossbow bolts. But if they just decide like, oh, we're leaving and you're coming with us, then hopefully it will destroy the Ember Coach.
Okay. That's fair.
How many
You
bolts
do
is that going to take?
4 if you want to do all the wheels.
I'll just do 2 of them.
Okay. And that's 2 crossbow bolts.
Mm-hmm. And I will jump back in the Ember Coach and make sure I am sitting very near the entrance to that engine room so that someone doesn't accidentally start this thing up.
All right. Well, Ara comes back in with Mariana if she chooses to follow, and says, "Well, I suppose we make camp here for the night."
How long we've been sitting in this coach?
Oh, wait, that's right. It's morning. Oh, right. Well, I suppose we should take off then.
Take off to where?
He looks at Hadir. Well, again, Harai is our last destination, but we do need to get to a settlement to get supplies, especially with a few more mouths to feed. I don't think we can make it all the way back.
Great. Well, we were headed to a settlement. Maybe we could direct you there.
Huh. Wow, what luck. Great.
I do not appreciate your sarcastic tone.
Pardon me?
We're doing you a great favor.
Yes, and I'm saying what luck we found you so you could bless us with this great favor. I wasn't being sarcastic. I apologize.
All right, well. What do the rest of you think? We hitch our wagon to this crew?
Well, seeing as they have a wagon and we really don't. Yeah.
All right. Who's navigating?
Hold on one second. I gotta go grab some stuff from camp.
Didn't you just? Okay.
Well, I grabbed some stuff from camp. Right now that we're leaving, I'm grabbing the rest of camp.
I will pull out a map and put it on a table.
Oh, bless O'Near. Oh,
Mhm.
goodness. All right. Now we're in business. Hey, do me a favor. Hold on to this. Don't let Thatch have it.
That I will do. Mentally, actually, I'll try to. It's gonna be weird because I'm not actually connected at the moment. I don't think, but I'm gonna try to think in. Her name's Urshin, right?
Mm-hmm.
In her direction, if she has any extra clothes.
There's no response.
Mm-hmm. I'll walk over and quietly mutter, "Do you have a spare pair of clothes for my friend?"
Uh, she peeks out from under her blanket fort and gets out from under the pile of blankets and stands up almost, all the way since she's like a child in the loft, and looks at her robe and then back at Xandal and shakes her head.
Never
Oh my god. Sorry.
mind. That is okay. I'll glance over at Siduri. You will have to wait for new clothes, I suppose. I tried.
Yeah, I was. What?
Mm.
What do you mean? You? Okay, I was planning on waiting anyway, so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Quintus, are you doing alright?
Is Quintus doing all right?
Is Tyler doing all right?
Tyler's great. Quintus has fallen asleep in the seat of the car.
Just
Oh.
having an old man nap.
Ouch.
If everyone could give me a perception check, I guess retroactively, or insight. Holy fuck!
I mean,
Uh,
insight's the same score, I guess. So
Oh,
I guess I won't.
decidedly
I'm
different.
AFK.
double crit.
Yeah, I could just step over to your computer and roll for you.
Yeah, that's fine. I just feel like my character was distracted anyway, so it was not a big deal.
um, uh, for Siduri and Xandal, you notice like when Quintus is moving around or somebody's moving past Quintus, they will stare at him, uh like mostly at his chest where like the insignia is.
Hmm.
Quintus, you notice a few odd glances from the people in here, but are, might be strangers being wary of you. But you do catch it. It is like one of those things where if you look at them, they'll look away. Uh, Obviously, some are more sly than others.
I think Quintus is just all too used to people like looking at him like that.
Oh, poor
He
guy.
doesn't think anything of it.
All right, so I guess since we're going to be traveling together, time to get acquainted. I already know Leander, or sorry, Steve. Sorry, Steve, and Mariana. How about the rest of you?
I'm Siduri. Siduri singing down.
Pleasure to meet you.
Zendo.
Right.
Quintus.
Ah, Quintus. Hmm. Well, if I would recommend rationing the water. We do have a tank up top, but you know, you've been traveling for some time. Help yourselves when you need. I do. I, I guess this isn't my Amber Code, so not my rules. Uh, Hadir, house rules, right? Uh, there really aren't any. Just be courteous. Don't steal anything. Um, yeah, that's about it. Oh, and if you would please try not to upset Hirschine. And don't leave your valuables around the touch. Now hold on, that's not fair. I know I've ever stolen something of yours. Hadir just shakes his head. Well, I guess I'm gonna get everything prepped. Xandal, if you would, uh, up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he goes into the engine room and begins like opens a sort of a compartment that's like one of those like ice scooper things, but it's like with coal instead. Um, and he begins scooping some into a little tray that pulls out. Um, and he scoops some in, pushes it back in, and twists. Uh, and starts uh pumping on like some bellows. Uh, as this thing begins starting up.
How often will you need this done?
Not too often, thankfully. It's a pretty good mineral we got here. It's more compact, burns a little bit brighter. It's not like regular coal, I suppose. It's like specific fuel. Have you ever been in one of these?
Yes, it was not pleasant. Will move faster if I pump these bellows faster.
Uh, yeah, I suppose.
It is something to do.
Sure. Just not all the time, though. It'll burn it faster, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to burn through all our fuel. It's a little bit more efficient if we go slow and steady. It
Mm-hmm.
burns bright enough itself to steam.
I will keep an eye on this then.
Speaking of keeping an eye on things, he opens like a little circular, like sliding thing on the top, and a sort of periscope falls. I figure since you're a navigator, you got instruments for reference, you got your map, uh, and if you choose, I guess, well, I mean, it's easier to look and drive at the same time, but it's not always required. We are in the middle of a desert.
I do not know any of these tools or how to use them. I have a map. I can tell you the direction we should go relative to the sun.
You've never He taps like a big like ship's compass in the middle of like the steering column. You've never seen a compass.
I have seen, I believe, a compass, maybe. Smaller.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what the cardinal directions mean. I guess if you need the sun, then that's just as well.
Yes, so if you want to go in a singular direction, this I can do.
Sure, you just tell me where and I'll steer.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah, I'll settle in to do just bellowing this thing occasionally to keep us going fast. It's good to have projects.
Yeah, and th this thing is kind of bouncy. It sure is a lot more plush on
Mhm.
the inside and less horrifying than
Yeah.
burning to death in a big metal box, but
Yep. For the
it is
moment,
still very bouncy.
unless told otherwise, I figured stopping at the Beetle Riders, the Beetle Rider Utamile establishment. That's like the nearest, right?
Yep.
By a long shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just do something real quick. Wonderful. All right. Any of the rest of you doing anything? The silence of contemplation. Leander, uh, I feel like you still have a little bit of trust issues. What's your whole what's your whole spin?
Um, Leander's probably going to act like all of this has been resolved, right? And during the day, he's going to try and sleep as much as possible, so that at night he can stay up and keep an eye on things.
All right. Um, all right. Um, when night falls, uh, you're up, Leander,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you see, you see, like that little glint of predator eyes from the loft. Oh, you're awake.
That I am. So are you.
And this is all telepathic. Um, I've been. You have. What's that? She points at your crossbow.
You never seen a hand crossbow before? It's like the same thing as like a big crossbow, but you can just use it with one hand.
She shakes her head and like closes one eye and points like roughly like lower on the crossbow, like where the string is.
Say, how do you know about that?
What? Well, sounds like somebody's trapped in there.
Oh yeah, that's my sister Leonella.
Yeah, Leonella.
Wait, have you been talking with Leonella?
Yes? Should I not be talking to Leonella?
Well, no, I just never met anybody else who could talk to Leonella. What'd she say about me?
Well, she told me not to tell you.
Oh, that sounds just like Leonella. I tell you what, she does like to keep her secrets.
She said if I told you, you would have a hard time walking through doors, because like she like motions towards her head like it's ballooning.
Oh no! Did Leonella teach you a curse and make my head so big I can't walk through doors anymore? Oh God!
No. No. No, you're funny.
Oh, well, thank you. You're not so bad yourself. So, I'm glad you've been getting to know my sister a little bit. She's real nice, you know. I like to do what I can to try and get her out of there. As much as I like having her around all the time, it doesn't seem like a great way to get by.
Yeah. She definitely wants out.
Well, that's great. She definitely wants out. I definitely want to get her out. I got this book here that I'm working hard to figure out a way to get her out.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Versus what? Leaving my sister as part of my weapon? That certainly sounds like a worse idea. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
but
I don't know. Do you have any siblings?
not anymore.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Were you close with the siblings that you had?
No.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that too. Well, me and Leonella, we were like two peas in a pod. And so you can imagine her being gone, has been real hard on me. And, when I talk to her, she seems to indicate that she wants out. She seems to be indicating to you that she wants out. So, look, I'm not a moron. I know it might be dangerous, but
Well,
the alternative is to just not do anything to try and get my sister back. That sounds ridiculous.
okay, don't tell her. She seems really bossy.
Oh yeah, that sounds like Leonella, all right.
She sort of looks down for a second and then like looks back at you and is like, okay, be careful, okay?
Yo, I'm super careful all the time.
Was your sister ever scary?
Oh well, sometimes she can be scary. If you took a last chicken wing. She could be pretty scary. Yeah. Took some ice and put it on the seat of the privy. She could get real scary.
She laughs at that.
But yeah, most of the time she was pretty nice. She real smart. So sometimes for other people, she might seem like scary or bossy, but it's just because she knows a lot more than most people, and she just doesn't mince words. Would let people know that.
I agree. She's smart. And doesn't mince words.
Well, listen, I'm just glad that she's got somebody else to talk to other than just me. I know she's been real lonely. I appreciate you taking the time to get to know her. How long have you been traveling with these characters?
It's been like 2 years. Just with Ara and Hadir.
Oh, is that a new addition?
Mm-hmm. I don't like him.
You got a real weird way about him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, something is weird about him.
Well,
I don't think he's. Well, I don't know.
I'll make you a deal. If you look out for me, then I'll look out for you. We'll both sort of keep an eye on Thatch, since he rubs us both the wrong way a little bit.
Okay. I'll also keep an eye out for Leonella.
Oh yeah, if you could keep talking to her, that'd be great. I'm sure she'd love that a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I didn't really have too much time talking with Ara, but Thatch and Hadir did not. We didn't get along all that well. But you and I'm real glad we've had this talk. I feel much better about traveling with you folks now.
Okay. I mean, Hadir's really nice. He talks weird. I mean, he doesn't have. She sort of waves her arms around a little bit vaguely. He's just sort of she just puts her arms straight out.
He's
You
try to say he's a little stiff?
Yeah, but he's nice.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind. See, that's not a real problem I got. I'm all loosey-goosey, and Leander will just flap his arms wildly and bend his knees crazy. Oh, shit, my hand. Ow. Hit the wall over there. I better be quiet.
She laughs. Okay, well, I'm going to try and go to bed. Could you tell Leonella maybe to be quiet a little bit? Sorry.
Has she been bugging? Oh, yeah. I mean, she must be excited I have a new friend to talk to, but not very nice. Try to interrupt people when they're sleeping. Someone should tell Thatch. But I will tell Leonella to let you get some sleep.
Thank you. Be careful. Good night. And she'll just like crawl back into the loft and under her blankets.
Oh, Leonella, listen. She's very nice, and I'm sure you're very excited, but you gotta let people get some sleep. Coming on too strong, she's not gonna want to talk to you anymore.
Um, Leonella responds and says, "She is corrupted. You can't let her live." And that is where we're going to end our session.
Dun, dun, dun.